I'm Hannah Fisher. I'm the head of marketing at More Than Insurance, and this is Larissa. Larissa's from Mesh. And we thought we'd finish off the day for you by just sharing a bit of a case study of some of the work that we've been doing together, which has really been challenging the way that we look at brand tracking in the industry. As many of you have used or are using traditional brand tracking, that comes with its challenges. So we've tried to do it a different way. And we actually use real-time experience tracking to track our brand consideration for the whole of the More Than advertising campaign. And we actually do this through the use of mobile, hence why we're here today. I'm not actually sure how to do the clicker, or does someone do that for me? It's nice and slick. Is it like on-site training? Lovely. This one.
Sorry.
Thank you. Brilliant. So in order to give you an overview, I thought it'd be helpful to share some of the challenges that I face as kind of head of marketing at More Than. But just generally in the insurance industry, it's low involvement, it's really low interest. Predominantly it's driven by TV, so it's a TV-driven market. I'm sure you can see all the ads from aggregators plus Direct Line and Aviva, etc. So it's a very busy TV-driven market, which, as you know, as advertisers, is really expensive. And not wanting to undersell the insurance industry, it's pretty much a grudge purchase. So that's the context that we're operating in, as in marketeers and insurance. And really the challenge for us is to work out how to create the cut-through, but we don't really know what's effective, and we don't really know how to win, or we do try to figure out how to win. And the work we've been doing with Mesh gives us that little bit more granular insight to actually work out which pieces of my advertising and which channels are actually working harder than traditional brand tracking, which just shows you overall TV consideration, which we're going to kind of walk you through. And so my views really on the traditional brand tracking process really is that it's a backward-looking process. So it's quite slow to move. When it does move, we struggle to figure out why it's moved. So is it TV-driven? Is it the content that you're actually putting in the TV? Is it the channel mix? And it's very hard to kind of unpick your media strategy. And then you get kind of hooked on the drug of just following one metric around the business, which is your consideration metric, which can be helpful, but I'm not really sure how insightful that can be. It makes it difficult to make decisions, particularly when you're working with a tool that looks backwards. And so we've been working with a tool that looks forwards, which is quite interesting. In order for us to use this tool, it helps us predict future consideration and sales, or at least attempts to and tries to. It helps us understand where to invest our marketing money. So should I put my marketing spend in TV, or should I be spending it in Facebook or other channels? So it just gives me a bit more granular insight into where I kind of spend my money. And it's an approach to help us understand which of my channels are actually working, and at what stages they are in the kind of the purchase funnel. So as I'm alluding to, there's quite a lot of insight that we can gain from using real-time experience tracking. Now, just in case you don't know, is this ready to run? Yeah? Hang on 2 seconds. This is a little ad, just in case you're not close to the More Than advertising. This is our latest TV brand ads that we've got running. It's called Personal Project Manager, and it's actually based off a real customer experience that has happened in our call centre. We have something called Personal Project Managers, and these guys are pretty much on hand to help you through a personal tragedy, such as a house fire. And this is a real example. You know, our PPM actually went out and bought the guy's shirts and got the kids' school bags and pretty much got that person's life back on track. And that's kind of the insight that drove us to actually creating this ad. So you may have seen it on TV. It's also running, we've got quite heavy social and content support. So we've got a real mix of kind of TV and digital from a marketing plan. And this is the stuff we've run. and then we're going to go on to kind of how we've tracked it through the meshwork. So run V2.
Four toothbrushes, school bags, school shoes, soap and shampoo.
When the unthinkable happens, a More Than personal project manager can fix your home, but the first thing they think about is fixing your life. More Than, where you mean more.
Great, thanks. So I'm going to pass over to Larissa now.
Hello. Am I on?
Think you're on?
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, hello. As you noticed, I'm here on behalf of Fiona Blades, Mesh CEO. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today. There are times that family comes first, so so I'm here on her behalf to present. So basically, and then pass to the next slide. So this is the key question, really. How are people perceiving our brands? Because actually, it's kind of like a communication efficiency. So it's not only what we say, but actually how are people understanding that? So the question that we have to ask ourselves is, how are people perceiving our brand? And this is what Mesh is working. Mesh is helping more than to really understand how are people interacting with the brand. Well, we know where we invest, right? So to draw a pie chart like this is really easy. What is really interesting is to see, okay, it's not coming, okay, now. What we do, we capture people's experience with the brand. So this involves everything really, not only the traditional media, but all the other touch points that at the moment, it's not that easy to track. So I'm talking about word of mouth, seeing someone talking about the brand, having a conversation about insurance, having a phone conversation, on all these other, what we call environmental touch points that we cannot, it's not very easy to track. So that's why we draw a share, we call the share of experience. It's a pie chart like that. So basically, what we can do is to really tell you, oh, you are investing on these touch points, and this is how people are interacting with your brand. So basically, you can see whether you are investing your money wisely or not. Well, Mesh has been capturing experience for almost a decade now. So Fiona Blades, she set up this business back in 2006, and basically what she wanted is to really understand how people interact with brands. So, and when we say experience, it's everything really that people see or talk about the brand. And what we do, we actually use mobile to capture this experience, and that's why we say that we are closer to the truth, because we don't really rely on people's memories to really understand how they feel, how do they perceive this ad at that moment on time. Okay, so this is a short video about how the methodology works. I think that would be the easiest way for you to understand how does it work, because it's a bit innovative, so it's a bit complex. I will apologize for the slightly commercial aspect of the video, but I think it's the easiest way to understand. Can you please play the video?
We are Mesh Planning, the experience agency. We believe that your brand is made up of every experience that people have with you. We are passionate about capturing these experiences and then working with you to help you make smarter decisions about your marketing spend. We believe that capturing experiences in real time is the only way to accurately measure the impact of your brand. Mesh's real-time experience provides you with insight and smart ways to go into brand strategies. Captures all of yours and your competitors' brand metrics and image statements. Using his mobile, David will tell us whenever he sees, hears or experiences anything to do with your brand and its nearest competitors. He'll share where he experienced the brand, how positive he found the experience, and the impact it might have had on his brand preference. David will share every experience he has over the next 7 days, adding more in-depth information about his experiences in the online diary. A second online survey captures changes in brand metrics and image statements, revealing how these experiences have impacted on his brand beliefs. Mesh's innovative real-time experience tracking will give you faster, smarter data, which our team of experienced planners will translate into highly actionable recommendations. Whatever decisions you need to take about your brand investment, we have the solution for you.
All right, thank you. Well, I think we lost a little bit of the audio in the beginning, but I think it's clear. I mean, we have a three-stage approach. So we have an online questionnaire in the beginning, at the survey. We have an online phase, which lasts usually 1 week. So we track people's perceptions the whole week. So it's kind of like we are 24/7 asking them what they saw, you know, what kind of brands they had interacting with, how do they feel about the brands. And at the end, we had another online survey, which it's very similar to the first one, where we capture the change, so the shifts in their perceptions. So basically, this is the approach. In terms of modern, so what we have here, so clearly we have the share of experience. So this is how the experience were captured for modern. And in the data that we capture, we can clearly see, oh, I think I went too far. Okay, what kind of media it was. So for example, we can see whether it was paid, owned, or earned, or an environmental media touch points. Environmental is the one that I said that it's really not easy to track. So from this, basically one slide, we can tell exactly how people are perceiving the brand and where, whether they are paid media or not. So we can go really into the detail to tell them whether they are investing the money or not. In our questionnaire, during the diary phase, we have open-end question. So although it's a quantitative methodology, we also have a little bit of qualitative part in it. So where we ask, okay, please describe a little bit more about this experience. So doing this, we can really go deeper into people's experience. So we can really understand the reason why someone experienced a very positive experience or very bad experience. And also we can capture pictures from their experience as well. So this brings us a lot of insights, a lot of information really to tell more than what is really working, what is not. As you can see, some of the comments here. So for example, these are qualitative examples. For conversation, experience online that aren't paid, online banners that are using cookies, so something that you would never capture in a traditional brand tracking. And those are some pictures that we captured during the diary phase. That's really a gold mine to deliver some insights. Okay, so let's go to the results then. What have we found out about that? This is something really powerful. So because we track all the media, and not only the paid one, we can really see where people are seeing the brand. So that's why we can, and based on our experience, almost 10 years working with, why is that going? Okay. We can see the share of experience includes earned, owned, environmental as well as paid media. And we realize now that not only does share of experience correlates with brand share, but it can explain 32% of the consideration the following month. So that's the looking at the future that Hannah mentioned in the beginning. So basically, there is a big difference when you are planning your strategy. Instead of looking to the past, we are helping them to predict the future. So this is very powerful. So now we have these experience-driven marketing metrics This is a model that we created, where basically tells, so it's clear that there is a correlation, a very close correlation between share of experience and share of market. So we can see that. This is, the base for that is the channel. So obviously we track all the touch points. So we know where people are picking up all the experiences to build that share of experience. Also, the experience, they could be positive or negative or neutral experience. So not all experiences are the same. So basically what we've done for this is we identified that based on our experience, so many years in the market, we found out that for some markets, a positive experience is 3 times, sometimes even 4 times more powerful than a neutral experience. And in other cases, in other markets, a neutral experience behaves in a negative way. So you really have to make sure that you drive as much positive experience as possible. And how do we do that? How do we help Modern to do that? We have basically 3 models feeding into this, the quality of the experience, which is the proposition. So basically we track the message that people are picking up, so whether the message is right or not. Placement, so we track where works best. For example, if a poster works best at a train station or in front of a supermarket, so we can tell them that. So it's kind of like we go deeper into each touch point, what we call sub-touch points. So each one of them we go deeper in that. And also context. So for example, time of the day, because we track and people send text message the whole day, we can tell when they had this experience, time of the day of the week, any seasonality, and also the competitive activity as well. So all of this feeding into this model that at the bottom or at the top, basically is the share of market. This is how it interacts. And from this model, we actually have our metrics. So it's what we call the experience metrics, where we have the experience reach. So reach is how many the number of people who had any interaction with the brand. Experience share, so it's the proportion, for example, for Modern versus other brands. Experience positivity, so it's the percentage of the positivity experience within the whole of experience. Experience persuasiveness, which is the rational, real-time metric, because we not only ask people how do they feel about their experience, which is very positive or very negative, but we also ask them what is the likelihood for you to purchase this product or to choose this brand in the future. So it's a more rational approach. So we have that as well. And also the experience impact. So how the impact on key metrics, for example, like consideration. So we have all these new metrics. I know that it's something new that we are bringing to the industry, but this is something that is working really well, and it's becoming more, once you understand it and you embrace this, it's becoming much more powerful than the regular metrics that we have at the moment. So this is our basic chart, how we present the touch points and the reach. So the size of the bubble is the reach. So you can say the TV is actually, yes, it's reaching more people than the other touch points. But also we correlate this with positivity and the purchase intent, which is the 2 questions that I mentioned to you. One is the rational, the other one is the emotion. And then you can clearly see which touch point is working best than the other. As you can see here, for example, call center, conversation, word of mouth, they are very positive and the impact is very high, but the reach is still small. So based on this, they can clearly see where to invest, where is working best. Also, we can divide the data in different ways. So this is the other way that we can show. So from all the experience, how each brand is performing, if you like. So this is, for example, brand A, brand B, how they are investing, how they are, people are interacting with their brands. So you can see difference here. And also from this, when you are tracking your competitor, you can identify their strategy as well, where they are investing, where they are doing, the best work to reach people. So here you can clearly see that, for example, brand B is investing heavily in TV, so it's working well. Brand D is greater reliance on mailing and direct mail. Another way to look at the data is also path to purchase, so customer journey. So if you look at, people interact differently in accordance to the moment in time. So we can say, for example, from someone with 1-2 years in advance of the intention to purchase that product or service, interact with touchpoints in that way. When it comes to closer to the moment to purchase, interact that way. So this again is very powerful because you know exactly where to approach people, according to their stage in the customer journey. So again, we can tailor the message for each touch point in accordance with people's purchase intent. So this is, I think it's very powerful to understand. Also, we can really tell you what time of the day, actually, when people are more open to have a positive experience. So sometimes you're using exactly the same ad, exactly the same touch point, for example, TV, but at some time of the day, people experience more positive towards that message, different than, for example, in the morning. So it really depends on people's availability and where they are more open to have a positive experience. So according to, because we track all the time and we are, because I'm mobile, that's their job, right? So it's with people all the time. So we can really say the moment in the day that it's more efficient, whether the message is working well, working better. So really we help them how to create more positive experience with the same creative. And then this is just talk about the campaign that Hannah was talking about. Just some insights that we got that for this particular campaign, emotion that people perceived was very well received. So people really connected with this campaign. So it was very positive, was very powerful for the business, and we were able to capture that. And also if you see the comments that we got, they can really relate to the emotional aspects of the campaign. So this was really, really well done. I think, Hannah, I'm going to hand back to you.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you.
So just to wrap up, I thought it'd just be helpful to reflect on the benefits of using real-time experience tracking from my perspective. And as we've mentioned before, I think it really does help us look forward rather than back. The results are predictive, so they do help you have a forward-looking view of the world, plus it also helps you to have better conversations internally and with the board, because it's forward rather than backward looking. As we've said, you can actually get right down to the granular performance of your individual channels, and that's super helpful for me when I'm doing kind of real-time channel planning and I need to influence sales from a monthly basis. I know exactly what worked the month before, and therefore it helps me kind of move my channel mix around a bit more effectively. And I think to summarise it really does provide me with something that I can action, whereas before I've kind of struggled with what to do with the metric of just consideration. This helps to kind of make it a bit more real for me. So the benefits for me and also for my business, and hopefully these would also apply to your business. Number one really is about confident decision making, and I think this helps me, enables me to have better conversations up with the board and up with the MD around actual specific results, which really does then help drive better decisions and also allows us as a marketing team to kind of crack on with our plan without too much influence from above. Secondly, it's about refined targeting. This helps us test and learn. So as a culture internally at More Than, we are of one where we try to fail fast, and we do like to test and learn, and this gives us the ability to do that in channel, and then also make the decisions. If things don't work, we can be on it for the next month to make following changes. It also enables me to have better conversations. We just talked about test and learn. To better conversations with my agencies. So a common currency for me is vitally important. So now I have something that my creative agencies can plug into, because they can understand the more emotional side, and that will help them influence when they're creating the next ad, how to perhaps build on the one that we have now. And then it also helps from my media planning point of view in terms of getting my media mix a bit smarter and a bit more effective. And in a world where I increasingly have my marketing budgets declining year on year, it just helps me be that little bit more effective. Oh, there we are, a lovely cat to finish. Yeah. So I think that wraps us up. Thank you.